Hey, this is Simeon from PraiseTracks.com. And you know, one of the problems being a reviewer is that sometimes you find an instrument that you so enjoy playing that you have a hard time actually doing the review. And this has been the case with IK Multimedia's latest virtual instrument, the B-3X. So today we're finally going to dive in and take a look, so stay tuned.
My dear Dr. Sattler, welcome to Jurassic Park.
You know, the whole time I was working on this review, I kept thinking about, of course, Jurassic Park, because the B-3X is the first virtual Tonewheel organ that was made in partnership with the Hammond organ company. And IK Multimedia and Hammond and Hammond Suzuki have partnered together to sort of take the DNA of the original Hammond organ and the spirit of the Tonewheel organs and bring it into this powerful instrument, the B-3X. And so we're going to take a look at the B-3X today, and you can just see right away, this is the very first screen, and you see, just like you're sitting down at one of these marvelous instruments. You know, I've mentioned in some earlier videos that I grew up playing in church and at camp meetings and that kind of thing. And so I would find myself sitting behind one of these big consoles, and there is nothing like the feeling of sitting behind just a real instrument like this. And the B-3X, it does just such a fantastic job in just recreating that feeling. And so we're just going to take a look at the interface and go through some of the controls and that kind of thing. And you notice I have my D9X controller and a nano controller as well. That way I can get my hands on these controls here, because there's nothing like, you know, using the mouse is okay, but there's nothing like getting your hands on some physical drawbars and controllers. It just puts you in connection with the instrument. So the inverted presets, that's what they call these keys down here, and you can find that they've assigned these to the lower keyboard, and you can kind of see the names as you hover over them. You see like a name, and then you see the numbers on top, and that designates the actual drawbar position. So, you know, as you... So you can just go through those. And right away, you can just hear just a richness in the sound. And just a quick overview, you have just, you know, like I said, your normal controls here for just like you would on sitting behind a B3. And your drawbars for the upper keyboard, the pedals and the lower, your percussion on and off, that kind of thing. They have a controls view that when you click on that, it gets rid of the keyboards and pedal boards. So this is great to give you just a better view of just the controls themselves. So if you're running this on a laptop or whatever, or in a live situation, this is what you probably would want to see, because it gets out a lot of the clutter of the additional keyboards and that kind of thing. Let's just take a look as well, just quickly through these tabs. So you've got the stomps, you've got like an overdrive pedal, a chorus pedal, EQ, spring reverb, and then we're going to listen to some of these. You've got the cabinet section, and then you have a post effects section. So they've taken the signal chain, they've taken the signal chain of the organ and just given you so many ways to shape the signal and to just make it kind of like what you want it to be. Let's just run through some of these presets here. Full gospel, I like that. Let's just kind of start with that. And I can reach over here and just adjust the... And you notice that you've got some effects going on, and so let's just kind of dial some of these back here. And go through some of these stomp effects. So you've got like a can overdrive, chorus. Let's see, let's turn the Leslie off. Really nice chorus. You have an EQ, graphic EQ. That way you can just kind of tailor, you know, just tailor this sound to, just to customize it to just the way that you would like it. You've got a nice spring reverb effect, and you've got the dry wet. Just a nice classic sound there. And then you've got a wah pedal. And then you can use the mouse to modulate that. Now, all of these controls are, you can automate those in your DAW. I wish there was some more MIDI learn functionality here. You can, you know, you do have a lot of MIDI learn controllers. They do have given you such a nice, you know, selection of MIDI controllers that you can assign. I would just like to see it just go a little bit further, just so we can kind of dig into some of those, because pretty much if you're not automating, you actually have to do this with the mouse, especially if you're playing live. But still, it's just a really fun effect. So, like especially the funk rhythm, I was kind of messing around with that some. And I've got my iRiggs keys Mini 25 because there's something about the being able to have a pedal board. Yeah. And then I can adjust the pedal volume here. I've just assigned a drawbar there, and just see, you can get lost in these sounds. You can get lost in these sounds pretty quickly. And you hear a lot of these nice effects in these presets. And these are, you know, these are attributed to not only the cabinet function, but you've got the post effects here that, you know, you have the organ signal itself. It's running like it's split to go through the stomps, and you've got it going to the stomps. You've got a direct signal. You also have it going to the Leslie cabinet, and and then even to guitar amplifier. So they've got the signal of this organ, the B-3X, going through so many different audio channels and possibilities that you can mix. And here you can see you have the Leslie speaker here. You can control the mix here. So we've got that totally turned off, and then the guitar amp. And here's the guitar amp here. And this is what we're running, and you have control over all of these settings in the amp, and you also have a choice of what kind of head that you're using here. And then you can, you have the Leslie EQ that you can adjust. You've got sweepable mids and high frequencies here. And then you can bring it into the mixer, and you can turn these different things off. Like here's the direct sound without any going through any Leslie or any processing. And then you have the guitar amp, and you can blend these together just to just to get some very unique sounds. And they've given you that control to do that. And while we're here in the cabinet section, you have different amplifiers that you can use. So let's go ahead and take the guitar amp and the direct out. And then we've got the post effects. Now that's some of what you're hearing as well. So we're going to just turn all those off. You've got a limiter. You've got another EQ, so you can take what's coming in through the cabinet section. All of those signals coming in the cabinet section are going to go into the post effects, where you can apply an additional limiter, additional EQ, and this algorithmic reverb, which just adds a little extra something on the top of there. And so we're just going to go ahead and bypass that again. And so with the cabinets, you have a choice of, we'll slow the Leslie back down. Yeah, so you have control over the Leslie amp, and then the entire setup. You can have mic distance. So you get more of the room noise when you have the mics a little further away. You can have them at the back of the cabinet or 180. And that's another thing that I love about the B-3X, is that they've taken the technology and the modeling that was behind the Leslie collection for amplitude and T-Rex, and they've just brought it into here. It was like when I first heard the Leslie for T-Rex, it's just like I could just feel just almost like the air. There was just something different about how they modeled the Leslie here, and they've just put it right here. And I think it's what helps give the B-3X just that authentic sound and feeling. And you also have a choice. This is the 147 cabinet, and then you can change different cabinet configurations. You know, and it makes a difference because the different cabinets are constructed differently, even use different wood, different drivers. So we'll just listen through some of these. Okay, and the 122. You also have more EQ. So you've got so many ways to EQ these. Yeah, and I can hear those. I can hear that drum spinning around. Just. Yeah. Oh. And then the 147 we've been listening to, and then you've got this this cabinet, which is really interesting. It's just something different about this cabinet as opposed to the. So we'll just switch real quick, so you can hear the difference. Just different qualities that each cabinet brings to the sound here, which is just beautiful. So let's just run through some more presets here and just have some fun. Just see what we've got here. Chorus singing, and you know, with the D9X controller, I have different controls assigned. You know, with the vibrato on and off. Yeah. So you've got control over the vibrato and the percussion. Yeah. Okay. And then all these presets, you know, looking through the cabinet settings and the post effects, each one will bring a different. Yeah, you hear some of those effects going there. So, yeah, man. Gospel 2. And let's look at some of the other settings here. They give you so much flexibility with the what you can do with this organ. You have, you know, this is your general setup for your audio and MIDI, your tuning, and the upper manual is usually assigned to channel 1, lower is channel 2, pedal board is channel 3. That's how I've got it here. There's something about having an additional keyboard because, you know, you can play the sound in the lower register, but it's just something about, yeah, there's just, you know, something about having that split. And being able to have a small keyboard like this, or even a pedal board, would be great to give you some more flexibility. And then when we take a look at some of the other settings in the organ section, you have an advanced setting. You can actually choose the Tonewheel generators that are used. And then you have a tonal balance where you can make it brighter or darker. And then we'll pull some of these out. It just adjusts the brightness and the color of the tone wheels as well. Man, I like these. And then you see the serial numbers of these organs that they used as reference when they were building these tone wheels. This is 1956. And so what this allows you to do is just gives you more control over, and you hear the key click. And that key click just adds just that nice percussive element. So it's not just like you know, just a static instrument. It's very alive. And those little nuances, the clicks and the leakage, and the leakage is just like the crosstalk between the tone generators. It just adds little extra harmonics and little extra character there, and you have control over the percussion and the decay time of the percussion, and that. And then when the percussion's on, you know, it uses this ninth drawbar to the generator here. It'll use that to generate the percussion. So this will not be active when percussion's on. Okay. Just very beautiful in what they've given us here, and all of the different cabinets, and this all the flexibility here. Oh yeah, so let's just go through some of menacing auto wall. Let's just see. So you can get some very interesting effects here. And you can see where they've adjusted the EQ here. Wow, that's pretty cool. Let's pull up a couple of other ones. Hard rock organ. Let's just take a listen to what that sounds like. Yeah. Wow. And you see, that's why I get lost in it, because it's just got so much going on here. There's so much going on here, and it is so cool to hear. You just hear all of that that stuff. It's just got. Yeah. It's got some stuff going. So yeah, and so that's the B-3X, and I've just been having so much fun with this. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching, and we're just going to have some fun. I've been just really enjoying playing this instrument, and one of my favorite things to do, and one of the reasons why it's taken me so long to do this review, I love to play along with some of my favorite gospel artists, like some good Church of God in Christ or Chicago Mass Choir stuff, and so I just want to take us out, just kind of playing through some of this, and just hope you enjoy. And thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and please subscribe and click on those notifications. And I want to thank you all for all your support, and thanks for watching, and can't wait to see you next time. Here we go. Oh, man. All right.